Hey guys, I'm Dan from Town & Country Marine. Today we're checking out probably the coolest fishing pontoon on the market, the Premier 230 Sunsation Angler. Let's check it out. Just a couple quick specs on the boat. This 230 Sunsation is 23.5 feet long, features an 8.5 foot wide beam, has room for up to 15 people, and also has a max horsepower rating of 250 horsepower. Now who's this boat for? This boat is for the customer looking for an ultra high performance triple tune that also has a full array of fishing features. And the best thing about this boat is that it gets rid of a lot of issues with most common fishing pontoons. So at the transom of the Sunsation 230 here, and I want to point out the biggest advantage to Premier pontoons. With traditional pontoons, we have 3 round logs underneath that provide your ride and lift. With a Premier, we have the PTX custom center tube. This is actually a custom built box style with a full integrated V-hull and reverse chine right into the center tube, which is gonna give us the fastest top speed, fastest cornering, most fuel efficient, and smoothest riding pontoon on the market. With that PTX tube and that V-hull shape, we're actually gonna have a pontoon that rolls and banks into the corners. One big advantage to this is that it's actually going to lean into the corner and maintain its speed through it. To control the water, we also have these great spray deflectors up the sides of the pontoons, which is just going to push our spray down, making it a nice dry ride. With the PTX in the center, paired with a 200 horsepower motor, you're looking at a top speed of around 45 miles an hour, which is near unheard of in a pontoon this size. With all Premiers, we're gonna have an overbuilt, robust construction. The first thing you'll notice is the size of the welds on the back of the boat. These are truly bigger than any welds I've ever seen on a pontoon boat before. We're also gonna have our cross members mounted on 16-inch centers for that strength and durability. And then all of our aluminum in our center tube is also gonna be ultra thick 0.125 aluminum. On the transom of the boat here, we have Premier's optional ricochet ladder. Have you ever been out on the lake and took off with your ladder down? I have too. It's not a problem anymore with the ricochet. Simply kick it down, go swimming for the day, and when you're ready to take off, simply take off and the ladder is gonna flip up all by itself. On top of that already robust construction underneath, we also have some cool things to touch on up top. Premier is actually gonna use their own in-house black hammered finish on all of the pontoon fencing. Now this is a double wall aluminum that has this custom powder coat finish, which is truly the strongest and most durable finish in the industry. Integrated into our rails, we actually have a few color rail options we can choose in the same powder coat hammered finish. You'll also notice Premier is gonna have specially designed extra thick rails that are larger, thicker than anybody else in the industry, which is just gonna add to that rigidity when you're going down the lake. Just coming to the front of the boat, I wanna showcase the construction up front. We have those 0.125 nose cones with a great angle of entry. It's extremely steep dead rise on the front, which is gonna cut through the waves, giving you that extremely smooth ride. Also integrated on our nose cone is our splash guards. Now what you'll see is a lot of companies put this huge splash guard sticking out. What that shows me is that the pontoon throws a lot of water and makes a lot of spray. With Premiers, we have that great angle of entry, which is gonna minimize spray, and we just have this small upper mounted splash guard to control that minimal amount of spray. Also, as you can see, your nose cones are not gonna stick out beyond the deck. A lot of companies have the nose cones hanging way out, which is just trouble when you're coming into the dock when you can't see it. With the Premier, our nose cones are actually gonna be tucked under the deck, and the furthest point sticking out is gonna be the center of your deck. Just above our nose cone, we have these really cool docking lights integrated into the deck. They're actually recessed back and protected by this ultra thick stainless steel cap. This stainless steel cap also provides protection. If you do bump into the dock, you're actually gonna bend something on the dock, not on your boat. This stainless steel cap is gonna protect your investment. Adding into all the really cool features we've already talked about on the boat, we have probably the coolest fishing feature of all time. Have you ever been out fishing on a pontoon boat and noticed how the rails are always in the way of your fishing rod? Premier solved this issue by actually remaking a full swing back panel to completely open the entire rear of this boat up, so we have full access fishing all the way around the transom of the boat. All right guys, so we're up in the transom of the Sunsation 230. The first thing I want to touch on is how much space there is back here, especially when we have these side gates swung all the way open. Now, not only does this space become great for fishing, but it's also great for the families out there that want to do lots of swimming and jumping off the boat. Opening this up just gives you a full play center back here. Integrated in here, we do have our removable fishing chairs. Now these chairs, there's 3 locations and you can move them to whichever one you like. Also integrated in the back, we have our livewell console system. This is actually going to have an integrated bait bucket, livewell aeration control, a light in the livewell, rod holders, and even integrated tackle storage. On this rugged fishing pontoon, comfort is not overlooked. We have Premier's ultra thick vinyl upholstery. Now this is actually going to be an ultra buttery smooth soft touch vinyl. We have our seat bases paired with this ultra thick vinyl. Now what you'll notice in a lot of pontoon boats nowadays is the seats keep getting thinner and thinner. And not only are they thin, they're also hard as a rock when you go to sit down on them. With the Premier, they still have that ultra thick, luxurious feel, so when you sit down, it's like sitting on your living room couch. Underneath Premier's ultra plush upholstery, we have their scissor hinges. These are going to provide you with a seat base that's going to flip open, giving you the easiest access down inside. Also integrated in here is a full cast roto mold. The big advantage to the roto mold is that if your deck gets wet from swimming, fishing, when the boat rocks and the water goes underneath, it's going to keep all your gear dry because it's sealed from the bottom. Another nice feature Premier has done is actually padded your seat bases all the way around, just adding to that premium feel and fit and finish. Also on Premier's plush upholstery, you're going to notice the shape of the seat base. We actually have an angled towards the backrest seat base, which is going to actually hold you in place. So with this boat, with the 200 and that PTX center tube, this boat can pull some G-force when you're going through the corners. This angled seat base is going to provide you with a more comfy ride, actually hugging you into the corner of the seat, holding you in place for when your driver is taking those aggressive turns. Let's check out the helm. The first thing you're going to notice is we are actually up on a raised helm. This is an integrated fiberglass platform that's going to give us higher sight lines above the passenger in the front lounger. It's also a big advantage when you're coming into dock, just seating higher, seeing the nose of the boat when you're coming in on the opposite side. Integrated into this helm is a massive amount of legroom that feels very similar to when you're sitting in your car seat. Also in the helm, we have this nice glove box that's going to house all your day-to-day grab-and-go items. So I'm up in the captain's chair of the boat. How many pontoons have you sat in where the ergonomics don't feel right? The chair's uncomfortable, there's not enough legroom, the steering wheel's not in the right place. I've sat in so many. With Premier, they finally corrected all this. We have that nice legroom underneath that gives you a car seat feel. We're going to have the steering wheel centered to our chest and dropped right in our lap with our throttle in an easy to reach position. Honestly, it feels like I'm in a race car. We're also going to have beautifully appointed analog gauges paired with an optional 7-inch Simrad display, which is going to give you all of your fish finder display features. Also on our helm, we have a Clarion stereo with 6 speakers and full Bluetooth, of course. Just to the right, we also have an integrated phone holder up on our dash, and then our rocker switch controls, which are going to control things like our RGB lighting, our docking lights, and even our powered bimini top. Tucked away under our fiberglass helm, we have this door that opens up to give us access to our trash receptacle and even a paper towel holder. One of the nicest features inside this helm are our 2 batteries for our trolling motor. They're actually integrated up underneath the helm with all of our wiring up and tucked out of the way, so you have a really clean look throughout the entire boat without those loose wires hanging everywhere. All right, so we're at the main event and the best feature on this pontoon. Integrated down in this ski locker is a fully mounted Minn Kota Tarova trolling motor that flips out as easy as clicking a button and pulling it up, completely weightless and gas assisted. Simply open up your storage, grab the release handle, and flip your trolling motor out. It's going to come up completely weightless, flip forward, and attach right to the front deck and locks into place with one simple latch. Also inside this ski locker is an immense amount of storage. When we take that PTX with the squared off sides, it's going to give us a wider and much larger storage area. This is actually 218% larger than most other ski lockers. So we're up in the bow with our Premier's Troll and Stow optional trolling motor plate deployed. You can see just how easy this is. In a matter of seconds, I can pop it out completely weightless and fasten it to the front deck with no wiring or plugs to remove. You'll notice this plate actually has all of our wiring integrated inside. The only thing we have to do is screw on our foot pedal. You can also run this trolling motor completely wirelessly with a remote from the back of the boat. If you'd like to add a fish finder up front, since we have the power coming up for the trolling motor, we can actually mount a fish finder on here as well and have all the wiring tuck in to the same ski locker as our trolling motor. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on Premier's new 230 Sunsation Angler. I'm Dan from Town & Country Marine. We'll see you on the water.